I have not received any communication of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party or the Kenya Kwanza Coalition replacing their leadership in the House. The leadership existing as at the end of the last session remains the leadership of this House.
We want to be sure that we follow the rule of law and that we support a broad government which is not based. And we are encouraging the government to be both broad and based. It is broad but not based. For those who have not learned literature, understand what I'm saying. This government is broad but it is not based. So don't call us to be in a broad-based government. To indicate that as Azimio, we very respectfully disagree. I will not go to the substance. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that today you are Ngamatek. Ngamatek is the strong man. You are stepping on my mother's toe. But I will respectfully tell you, Mr. Speaker, that I don't agree with you as a strong man, that you are stepping on my mother's toe. And as Azimio, we are going to take further action until you stop stepping on my mother's pipe. And I respectfully, Mr. Speaker, note your communication.
Speaker, before you put the question, I have been asked to convey to you on the floor of the House that we have withdrawn our members from the House Business Committee, Mr. Speaker. Yes. So it will be a nullity for the House to pass the membership from our side, Mr. Speaker. Now you can consider me as majority or minority, whichever way you can take.
You know, there was absolutely no other way that was going to go, because there's no way Wetangula was going to rule himself out of office. Anyway, the countdown to the African Union USC election contest enters its final stretch with less than 72 hours to go, where the three candidates, Raila Odinga of Kenya, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf of Djibouti, and Richard Randarimandato of Madagascar, will know their fate. The candidates arrived in Addis Ababa yesterday ahead of the elections, where only heads of states and government will vote for chairperson for a period of one term. Kenya's Raila Odinga is confident of a win.
I think I would say that the prospects for President for Honorable Raila to capture the seat are very, very high. He has campaigned very extensively on the African continent. President Ruto has given him all the support. He has gotten all the support and encouragement from the President of Kenya. I have played my role as Minister for Foreign Affairs as well. Our ambassadors have played their role, including the ambassador here, and we believe we have canvassed effectively to give victory to Raila Odinga. My appeal to the Kenyans is that it is a very anxious moment, but the voting will have to take place. It is by secret ballot. Let us hold our horses and put Raila into prayer so that he can attain the victory that we all so desire. This is an extremely critical moment for Africa, because there are very, very urgent issues to be dealt with. The crisis in DRC, the crisis in the Sahel region, the hotspots that we are seeing in other parts of the continent require urgent attention, and therefore it is absolutely essential that the outcome of this summit produces the renewed leadership, the new leadership for the African Union Commission.
At the same time, the Prime Cabinet Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, has defended the number of Kenyan delegates at the African Union Commission Election Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Addressing the media, Mudavadi emphasized that the delegation was kept lean to reflect the country's economic situation. Additionally, he clarified that the delegates had traveled voluntarily to offer moral support to the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who is vying for the AUC chairmanship.
Many Kenyans have come out of their own volition. I know some people were asking me about what is the size of the Kenyan delegation. But I want to say that the level of anxiety and patriotism is very high. The Kenyan delegation is the standard delegation, which is normally led by the president during a summit like this. But there are so many Kenyans who, out of their own pocket and their own commitment, have come into Addis Ababa to show in solidarity with our candidate, Raila Odinga, and to also show patriotism. There are some who are even coming by bus because we border Ethiopia. So they've chosen to hire their own buses and come to Addis Ababa. So that is something that we cannot wish away, and we thank them for all the support and for the enthusiasm they're showing in support of Kenya's candidate.
Now, as the members of parliament are having fun in Ethiopia, a family in Molem in Nairobi is pleading with the government and well-wishers to help it locate their kin, Daniel Kamau, a fourth-year student from the University of Nairobi who got lost on his way home from school. According to Joel Karanja, Daniel was last seen on the 6th of this month around the Feroz stage along Kangundo Road, wearing dark gray sweatpants, a hoodie, and black sports shoes. His last signal reading was at Kamulu before his phone went off. The family has reported the incident at Molen Police Station and Kamulu Police Station.
Antelope Avenue area, and so she managed to mobilize some people who went around Antelope area in Kamulu, and since Thursday evening till late last night we have been combing the area, her, some relatives and also colleagues. So our plea is to anyone who would have seen him, and as she has said, he looked disturbed, and for that reason is someone who we feel that he may be straying here and there, but our hope is that he is alive, and we are praying that this information is going to reach to many people, and whoever will be able to find him can be able to inform us, inform the family, inform the police, and now so that we're able to trace our beloved brother, beloved cousin.
Nataka kuambia the relevant authorities wajitie hami katika shughuli ya kumtafuta mwenzetu, maana jambo hili linasononesha pia kutusi kama wanafunzi na kama his classmates ambao kwa nyuma hao pia wako na distress, maana ni mwenzao, ni alikuwa mwaka wa 4, alikuwa tu bado 1 year graduate. Kwa hivyo ni vyema kama wanaweza tia juhudi zaidi katika zile harakati za kumtafuta ili aweze kudumikana na familia yake ambayo imekuwa ikimtafuta kwa muda wa wiki moja kwa sasa.
Kwa jina anaitwa Joel Mwangi, na Daniel Kamau Karanja ambaye hatujamuona tangu Thursday asubuhi ni ndugu yangu ambaye tunampenda sana. Amekuwa mwanafunzi katika University of Nairobi akipursue geospatial engineering. Alikuwa mwaka wa 4, na kutoka kuanzia Thursday ndio tumekuwa hatujaweza kuzungumza na yeye, hatujajua mahali yupo, na simu iliweza kuwa na hatuchukulii wakati tunapiga. Mara ya mwisho tulipofanya search signal ilionyesha wakati pande ya.
Well, we ask the Lord to help the family to get their loved one. We pray that he is safe. You know, it's a very difficult situation when one of your family members just disappears, and it's not like he's a kid or something, he's a mature person. When he's unable to get home, you obviously know that something is wrong. Now, nominated Senator Gloria Oroba has commenced her suspension from Parliament after she breached the Parliamentary Code of Conduct. The senator had been suspended from participating in the House sitting after the clerk and the House collectively decided to take disciplinary action against her misconduct. This is after the High Court gave the House liberty to take necessary action against her for failing to appear to summon over harassment accusation she had filed against the Senate. Court documents show that Oroba alleged to have undergone harassment at the behest of the clerk of the Senate in 2023.
The consequence of the stay of suspension by the High Court is that Senator Gloria Oroba MP did not serve any of her suspension as resolved by the Senate. Considering this matter and taking note of the judgment delivered by the court on 15th August 2025 and the orders therein, Senator Gloria Oroba shall now forthwith commence a suspension following the resolution of the Senate of 20th September 2023 to adopt the report of the Committee of Powers and Privileges on her conduct. The 79 calendar days that were to be applied in the year 2023 will therefore run from today, Wednesday, 12th February 2025, to Thursday, 1st May 2025.
Thank you, Speaker, for giving me this time to possibly offer my apologies to the members of this House and to the members of the staff who I might have offended as I pursued whatever I was pursuing in terms of oversight or legislation. Mr. Speaker, if there is anyone, and I know that there are people who have actually come up to me and told me that I offended them, take this as my sincere apology. And truly, from the bottom of my heart, and as you can see, I have learned how to present and represent people better. And it is a learning curve, Mr. Speaker. However, I do understand that also I own up my actions and I own up my space. And so therefore, as I proceed for my suspension, I do hope that those I have offended will find it in their hearts to forgive me, and that it was not my intention to put out and maybe put out the Senate to seem that I'm trying to ridicule this upper house.
Yourself, for sure, it's like you are maturing. So thank you, all the best. Next order.
It's the happenings in Parliament. Remember, there's a lady who was walking around in spotted clothes when she was fighting for the rights of women. Anyway, the IPOA authority has said that the number of cases between the police and civilians is saddening following the shooting of 4 young men in Barwesa, Baringo North, Baringo North. Kemboi Samati, the commissioner of IPOA, who visited the shooting victims at the Baringo County Referral Hospital, say that they have recently received a case between the police and Kenyans and called cooperation between the two. Kemboi explained that IPOA has 5,000 ongoing cases and 34 police convictions, and this recent one increases the number of police abuses, adding that investigations have begun and those found guilty will be punished. The shooting led to the protests in Barwesa, and 4 injured are still admitted at the Baringo County Referral Hospital.
And of late, to my witness, a lot of police in actions in the latest shida. We have had issues recently in Narok where some officers were injured and people died. So we want to ask also Kenyans to not to take the law into their own hands, and also we want to ask the police to manage this public order in a human rights perspective.
polisi ambao walifanya kitendo hiyo ilikuwa kutoajibika peke yake. And now that they are poor here, I want to call upon them that they become extremely serious so that we restore confidence in them by the public. Sababu saa hii watu wanasema kama serikali wanachukua bunduki na kuumiza raia ambayo hawana hata kitu yoyote kwa mkono, hawana hata mawe, hawana kisu, alafu mtu anamiminia risasi kiolela, na tuelewe ni kwa nini. Na kwa hivyo nimeshukuru wamekuja, na ninaomba kwa niaba ya watu ya Barweza kwamba hatua kali ichukule ile officers wamepatikana wakifanya kitendo hicho. Usuri wanajulikana.
Yeah, something needs to be done. I mean, the attitude that Kenyans have towards the police is so wrong, and the attitude the police have towards the citizenry is also so wrong. So there needs to be a lot of attitude change between the police and the citizenry. Now, University Academic Staff Union Secretary General Constantine Wesonga has called on the government to accommodate all the university staff on their payroll, noting that the move will help curb the frequent strike in public universities. Wesonga said this at the Technical University of Mombasa, TUM, as he spearheaded the university staff strike. Wesonga vowed to stay put at the university until the grievances are addressed amicably. However, he says that the strike will go on if the TUM management will not resolve the lecturers' demand.
17-2021 CBA tulikaa chini tukazungumza na tulisikizana waongeze marupurupu. Wanasema SRC waliwaambia wasiongeze kitu, na tunasema hatuwezi kaa na marupurupu. Watu wali negotiate in 2008 ati SRC inawaambia retain hizo old rates. Hii hatutakubali kamwe. Lazima waongeze kitu, na kitu tunasema tunataka Vice Chancellor wa hii chuo asungumuze na viongozi wa hii chama hapa. Si lazima nitoke Nairobi. Kuna Professor Dalo hapa na timu yake. Why can't they talk? Because for me to come inamaanisha kuna shida hapa. If you cannot talk to your staff, umeogopa nini? Kwa sababu mimi nikikuja ni mgomo tu. Mimi ukiniona nimeenda inamaanisha vitu zimeharibika. Ukiniona vile nimekuja hapa ni mgomo tu. If you see me, strike. Hata next week nitaenda Tomboya. Naenda kulaunch another strike there. Hata Moi nitaenda kwa sababu mpaka saa hii Moi wajalipa. Leo ni tarehe ngapi? 12 na wajalipa salary ya Januari. Same to Technical University of Kenya, ile TUK. Ile ya Kenya. Na hii shida mimi najua vile tunaweza tatua. Tutatatua hii shida kwa hizi university by the government taking fully the payroll of university workers. We are only 30,000. The government can manage to pay university workers directly from the exchequer, so that the capitation they send to universities is only used for operation and maintenance.
Now, there's a report that came out yesterday that, you know, if you were the president or you're heading a country like Kenya, would get you a little bit concerned because the new report by Old Mutual revealed that 70% of Kenyans saw a decline in their incomes in 2024, with nearly half, that is around 47% of the country's working population, reporting significant stress, including physical and mental health impacts. The findings paint a concerning picture of financial insecurity, with a majority of Kenyans expressing diminished confidence in the economy. While some consumers were optimistic in 2023, many have adopted a more neutral stance this year. Key factors contributing to the decline in confidence include high living costs, taxes, rising food prices, unemployment, and a difficult business environment. As a result, only 3 in 10 Kenyans report that their household income consistently covers all expenses, with money left over at the end of the month.
Just how people are now very keen to manage their finances effectively. We saw increases in the number of people that are talking about have started saving for retirement. We saw a lot of people taking health insurance. It means that we have all started to understand how different risks and different events that come to us can actually derail all our plans financially. So
this is a study that looks at financial behaviors of Kenyans over time in view of changing economic circumstances. And the study looks at different dimensions on choices that consumers are making, either around their incomes or their expenditures.
That Kenyans continue to feel financially stressed. They continue to feel slightly out of pocket, but again, they continue to be very optimistic. And some of the optimism which has come out from this study is on they have continued to save more regardless of reduced household incomes, and secondly, they have continued to embrace expenses or products which cater for their larger expenses. For example, there's been an over 10% increase in uptake of medical insurance. There's been an increase in uptake of investment solutions, especially unit trusts. And then thirdly, there's been an increase in uptake of retirement solutions or pension-related products. And that is in the context of a tough 2024 economic environment, even though the macroeconomic indicators seem to show otherwise.
All right, Sema Kiliumana. Now, there was a dispute that erupted at the Dagoretti market following a fight between traders and a gang of youth who are suspected to be drug traffickers in the area. According to traders, they are lamenting over the rise of insecurity, urging police from both Kikuyu in Kiambu County and their colleagues from Dagoretti South in Nairobi County to closely collaborate in an effort to curb the rise of drug trafficking. The chaos is believed to have erupted after the security situation in the area deteriorated, where on Sunday the gang of youth attacked a young man in broad daylight and killed him. Now the businessmen have given a 24-hour ultimatum for the demolition and removal of the gang's hiders, or else they will not relent and they will fight the gang to bring back normalcy.
Polisi wabadilishwe. Kazi ni kushika wakazi. Wanapanga venye watashika watu wa bangi. Wezi wanatembea huku na mapanga. Hiyo ni preparation. Sisi hatuwezi enda kazi juu ya watu. Tunatafutia watoto wetu chakula. Comrade power.
Iko mtu alikuja usiku hapa kwa kizingio na sijui hiyo mama hiyo ya dawa. Sasa naye kwa mwingine ule alipelekana. Sasa sisi namna hiyo. Sasa vita ikawa kwa maana watu wakifikiria wamekazika sana. Sasa tunataka hii madawa yote iondoke.
Uwanja ishe. Hiyo uwanja ishe na ishe kabisa. Hizo madawa waende nazo huko. Hatutaki. Ni watoto wengi hapa wameharibika sana. Hizi madawa, ndio?
Sasa tunasema hivi, hawa watu wafanyangi kazi. Hakuna saa zenye wanaingianga kazi. Kila siku wanashinanga wamelala pale, usiku wanakuja wanaibia watu. Wanaamuka watu wakichinjio, wakikuja hapa kuchinja, unashikwa. Wanakukamanda tu. Sasa tunataka kujua kwani sisi hatutoangi tax.
Kwa sababu ni any time unyang'anywe vitu zako uende bila. So ile kitu tunataka sisi ni security.
Now, you know, there's something. When that video started, I was wondering, the guys who were speaking, are they the druggists or are they the market people? I mean, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. That's just me. Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza has underscored the county's ongoing efforts to enhance maternal and neonatal healthcare, highlighting key initiatives such as midwife and nurse training, medical equipment upgrades, and infrastructure improvements. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony, Governor Barasa announced that the new maternity wing in Matungu sub-county will have a 40-bed capacity and is set for completion within 8 months, with an official opening scheduled for the end of the year. The 50 million project is a collaboration between Kakamega County and Jacaranda Health, aimed at strengthening maternal and newborn health services.
We have implemented numerous interventions, and some of these are actually moms who have engaged with prompts. That's on your phone. The trainings that the nurses and midwives have had, as well as the equipment and infrastructure that we've been doing towards maternal and newborn and neonatal units, as we will be doing right here in Matungu as well. We started in Malaba, but today I'm extremely glad to say we're here in Matungu. We've seen significant improvements where we've seen a 5% decline in complicated referrals to the high volume facilities, which reduces their burden. And through this project, it is a testament to the unwavering leadership and commitment of the county that we stand here with great pride and excitement and ready to break ground on the second phase of Tutunze Kakamega project here in Matungu sub-county.
Hiyo maternity wing hiyo, nimwambia contractor achukue maximum miezi 8. By end of this year, mimi nitarudi hapa Matungu ili tuzindue rasmi maternity wing yetu ambayo ni 40 bed capacity. Na hiyo maternity wing inaenda kutugharimu 50 million Kenya shillings. Nimetembea kwa chemist yetu, pharmacy yetu hapa, na nimehakikisha tuko na madawa ambayo watu wakikuja hapa, wagonjwa wakikuja hapa wapate madawa bila kufukuzwa. Tumeelewana?
Welcome back. Let's take a look at what has been captured in the dailies today. The Star newspaper has the picture of former Kiambu Governor Waitito and the wife being bundled into a police vehicle as it screams out Waitito and wife guilty as DPP nails them in 588 million case. Now, whatever you do, as in you can imagine now, you and your wife, you're being bundled into a police vehicle because you are accused of having stealing public resources. It's a horrible picture. It's truly a horrible, embarrassing picture. And usifanye vitu zingine. You just destroy your family for no reason at all. Basketball player Atieno changing lives in Kayole. That's an interesting story. And then there's now the full out story of Waitito. And then Wetangula stares at ouster as Azimio MP's protest ruling. They don't have the numbers to remove Wetangula, so that can't happen. Kiambu fails to overturn 156 million tax dispute. And then the back page of the Star, bring on Sirikwa. Sirikwa cross-country technical director Ibrahim Hussein knocked President Paul Tergat, two-time Olympic champion Beatrice Chebet, and AK President Jackson Tuwei during the Sirikwa cross-country launch in Uasin Gishu County. And then the Daily Nation, MPs joyride to watch Raila African Union vote. I totally agree with that. It's joyride. And then you have Under Siege or Under Siege. That is the picture of Wetangula. That's the headline. And it kind of looks sad on this picture. I don't know what he was thinking about. Then on the third page, you've got 3 men vanish without a trace from Mukuru. This is Michael Njuguna Gatonye, Vincent Oluoch, and David Mutua. Whoever took them, remember these are people's children, These are people's children, probably people's husbands, and people's dads. Azimio MPs threatened to impeach Wetangula over majority side ruling. Why Ruto couldn't cede House majority. And then MPs in joyride for Raila vote. And then Oburu Odinga says ODM will seek presidency in 2027. Supporting Raila bid a patriotic duty. Then the back page, fresh crisis looms in public universities over pay. And then yet again in the Standard, you have the picture of Waitito and his wife. And the headline in the Standard is fraudsters. Now, imagine waking up to this in the morning, you're their children, and you're waking up to this. You're seeing the picture of your mother and your father in being the main talk of the country after they were declared guilty of stealing over 588 million shillings, or they received some money from 588 million shilling tender. I know they are going to appeal, but already your name is tainted. Okay, that's a tough one. Why speculation on Ouko deaths persists? Then blunders Raila and Ruto hope to avoid in a bid for Africa top seat. African Union Chair Faki tells what awaits election winner, and then criticize security officers but respect their work. That's what priests are saying, which I totally agree. Real Madrid leave Guardiola walking a tightrope. Looks like things are very tough at Manchester City. What happened to Gor Mahia? What happened to our local football? It's a story for another day. Sindio. Now don't forget that at 9 a.m. we're going to have Your Faith today. We've got some interesting stuff coming up. We have also Baton King coming to lead the worship. Very interesting music. And then Manukato at 2 p.m. Teddy and his gang interviewing pastors and artists on basically what makes them tick. So, got to bring down the curtains on this show. I need to take some tea. It's new. A lovely Thursday morning. God bless you.